This tastes like fog.
We have officially made it to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yay, finally.
Your first one in 2 years.
Oh my gosh, finally. I'm home.
I think I'm more excited for you than I am for myself, even though I am dying to see Fallout and Wyatt 6, but I'm very happy for you to finally be back.
Smell the fog again.
Smell the fog, yeah. So it's gonna be a long night. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna roll with it. This is our only night here, so we're gonna make the most of it. We have Scream early, we have Express, so we are gonna do as much as we possibly can.
Yep.
But let's head on into the fog and see what the land has in store for us today. And just the fact that I'm seeing Fallout here is driving me insane. And not to mention the horrors of the Wyatt 6. Like, this is an insane IP lineup. I cannot believe this. Okay, so we aren't Universal Studios pass holders yet. We're waiting for Epic Universe. But I did buy Scream early, so I'm gonna show you that whole experience. However, once we get into the park, we're gonna run straight to ET because I haven't done ET, I wanna say in 15 years. So I'm here with obviously my wife Ashley, but I'm also with my brother, and him and I used to ride ET all the time as kids. So we're gonna do that together, and then we're gonna try out the Fallout food, and then make the line for Fallout first by the MIB houses. Well, we will definitely be back later tonight, but I'm gonna enjoy this for now as we make our way to ET. Okay, so we're currently gonna be waiting to be getting our wristbands for Stay and Scream, so that we can go ahead and then go ride ET and then eat the Fallout food. But number one priority is getting the Stay and Scream wristbands. We're gonna be doing the ones over at the Minions queue. All right, we got our Stay and Scream wristband. We're good to go. Time for ET. All right, we're gonna check out the tribute store. It's Poseidon. I haven't seen much of the tribute store yet, but I have heard that a lot of it is inspired by the Lost Continent. Oh, there's that ghouly guy from the last tribute stores. Oh, look, we got different portraits from El Artista. We got Jason, Art, Poseidon, Darkanon. There's Uncle Howdy, Lil Boo, the Ghoul. Pulling up to the function wearing this. Oh, and they have the busts. This is the director and the storyteller. And if I'm not mistaken, these are the same busts that they had at the old tribute store. I think it was for HHN 30. All the Fallout goodies. Pardon our dust. I think they might be uncovering this thing at some point. I wonder what's behind the burlap. And here's a bunch of different nods to the tribute stores. You got Tribby. You have the Devil. This is all from like when they did the comic year, where it was like Boris Schuster's Detective Comics. I mean, his hat is right there. So a lot of this has to do with Boris Schuster. So this painting right here, I've mentioned it before to some friends, but this is basically inspired by Hieronymus Bosch. I believe it's the painting's called The Last Judgment. But here they have all the different idols that Boris Schuster had in his office window. All right, we are on our way to our first house of the night. It is gonna be Fallout. We're making our way towards the Men in Black houses. During the Stay and Scream time, it was kind of raining, so we ran into Born Stuntacular. That was my first time ever doing it. I don't even like those movies, and it might be the 45-ounce gin and tonic that I had, but that was
No, it was good.
awesome.
It was good.
It was really good.
It was fun. It tricked me at one point. I was like, what? I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it was good.
That was awesome. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, let's go do some Fallout. Our first house of the night. All right, so it's raining, so I'm not gonna bust out my camera, but we just did Fallout.
That was scary.
Scary for her, obviously, like not too scary for me. I'm not overwhelmed, I'm not underwhelmed, I'm just whelmed. It was good, like when you see like the moving T60, that was pretty cool, but I guess I expected more. The thing is, I'm a Fallout video game fan more than I am the TV show, but it was still cool just to have it here at the event. But it is raining, it's starting to come down, so second house. And now we're doing our second house. Okay, so we just got out of Galkin. That was awesome. I love that. If you're gonna do a Wicker Man house, I need to see the bees though. You can't do Wicker Man without the bees. And Ashley was practically on the floor.
No, that was bad.
They got some of the scarecrows got like really close to me. I love that.
But they did that in Fallout too, but they would get close to me. But like you, they targeted you, which was good. That was just the aftermath.
They got really close to me. I think the only time that I remember them getting that close was during Silent Hill. The nurses with their knives. Yeah, I love Galkin. That was awesome. All right, time for Toy Story. All right, so we just did Dolls Let's Play Dead, or affectionately known as the Toy Story house. I thought it was okay. It's silly, it's cute, it's quaint. I did like how they play with scale and like, you know, shrinking you down to the size of a toy. I thought that was pretty neat.
I didn't like the smell of that house. That house smelled weird.
Yeah, it smelled like a weird, like my grandmother's perfume. Now we're gonna try to do Hatchet and Chains and then get some food because we are starving. Oh, we got chainsaws back. Now we are heading in to Hatchet and Chains. Okay, so it is officially 6:59 and we've done Fallout twice, we did Dolls, and we did Galkin, and we're about to do Hatchet and Chains now, but we're finally using Express, so not bad, 7 o'clock getting this much done. So for Hatchet, if you don't remember, it was actually a part of the Slaughter Cinema as one of the like B movies featured in the actual house, but now they're making a full-blown house out of it. Okay, so we are all done with Hatchet and Chains. I don't know what it is this year, but there's like a bunch of shootouts, and I honestly feel like I'm in the Great Movie Ride. There's been like 3 houses where it's just like a shootout with the Wild West. Like it's the Great Movie Ride. As far as the house goes, it smelled terrible. It smelled like straight duty cheeks. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it did Slaughter Cinema justice, but definitely one of the weaker ones so far today. All right, so we got the birria ramen and we got the vegan walk and taco. I also got that bourbon lemonade drink as well. It's a massive amount of food that they give you for the birria ramen. It's like more sodium than I've had like all day. It almost tastes like ropa vieja. Okay, that ramen is delicious. I have a very high spice tolerance. It is very spicy, but also it is way too insanely humid to have hot soup right now. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm like straight up bullets right now. That is insane. Delicious. The consomme, delicious. The scallions, red onions, all of it. Everything about this dish was phenomenal, except the fact that I'm eating it in 95-degree weather on a humid, rainy day. Okay, so we're sitting inside the Simpsons like eatery, quick service area because it was way too hot outside. My brother ended up getting the deep fried PB&J and the garlic chicken tendies, so definitely I'm gonna be trying these. And the garlic tendies, they have like garlic parmesan sauce with like a spicy marinara dip. We'll try one raw dog in it. This is like Wingstop garlic parm almost, but it's a little bit bitier. The spicy marinara makes that one. You also got the cotton candy thing with the little gummy bears. It tastes like, okay, this is crazy. The cocktail at the Dolls booth tastes like what the fog smells like. It tastes like fog.
Yeah, I see what you mean by that.
Now it's time for the fried PB and Jizzy. This thing is so oily, dude. It's so sad. It looks like a piece of apple pie. It's one of the things that is so messed up that it's delicious. Wow, past Eric, what an interesting point of view. So as I kind of mentioned later on in the video, you'll see it. We ended up running into some friends at this point, and I kind of put my camera away for about 3 hours. So the rest of the footage that I shot, other than like some of the things at the end, is just straight up scare zone walkthroughs. So in between that, I'm going to be doing like a talk up of the scare zone and some of the houses that we did in the meantime, while also keeping in the rest of the footage that we had. But yeah, first time doing Halloween Horror Nights. I got a lot to learn. So it was fun though. But I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, because the rest of it is just a little bit scatterbrained throughout the rest of the night. Okay, so first off, we have the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. Now, this was probably my favorite scare zone. I really, really liked the story in this one. Walking through was actually really cool, because if you start the way that it's like supposed to be, like properly, what happens is the kids are getting like, they're eating the candy, or like they're drinking like a potion of some sorts. And there's a really cool show, and you're going to see it in just a second. But the kids are slowly being turned into cats. So as you're progressing through the scare zone, at first you kind of see them like still human, but with some cat-like features. And then as you progress, eventually completely they have become cats. It's almost like the musical Cats. Like that's kind of like what their costumes were. But especially like at night, the vibes in this zone were amazing. So I'm going to show you the show now, and then we're going to move on into the scare zone.
To be out of candy, but yes, I do have a treat. Come, my child. Try some of this. Sweeter than honey, rarer than my hairless cat. Oh, just a sip, just a taste. Yes, 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 yes. Every bottle is filled with transformative, with love. Oh my! Bless your heart. There's water on the table. Make sure to wash it all down. You're just weak as a kitten.
It's like shoot.
Notice the last year.
You got the freestyle? Okay. No, I asked if you had the freestyle.
I do. Oh.
Okay, so at this point in the night, we actually ended up going to do Horrors of the White Six, which was my most anticipated house of the year, and it was absolutely breathtaking. I kind of shared like my raw thoughts quickly later on, but it was unbelievable. I mean, from the facade being like the ramp and the Titantron, and then walking through into gorilla position and being a part of the Monday Night Raw massacre where everybody was like killed by the Wyatt Six, and then kind of making your way through that, and then there's a section that gave me goosebumps and kind of got me a little teary-eyed every time. There is a tribute to Bray, but this wasn't it. But it was, you're walking through a tunnel of just TV screens, and they're all playing different moments from pro wrestling history or WWE history, and that was just unbelievable. And then you have like The Fiend, and then you have Uncle Howdy coming at you from both sides in that room. That was, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, and you can tell so much love and care was put into this house. I don't think I've ever done a house more in one night than I did with the White Six. And it was easily the best house of the night for me personally. Nothing can compare to this house. And the cool thing about it too is that you kind of go through like the first half of it is the Monday Night Massacre, and then you go through the WWE tunnel, and then it kind of filters you through each individual member of the White Six. Oh, before that, you even go into the Firefly Funhouse. You see all the characters like the puppets. There's a lot of Easter eggs throughout it. Like there's a ECW hardcore championship there. There's so many different like characters like Chad Gable. If you go through into the Firefly Funhouse, you'll see, like I said, all the puppets, but you'll see also there's like a clothes rack, and I assume, if I remember correctly, it's all of Bray Wyatt's like different costumes throughout the years. Then there's like a TV set that has like different VHSs of all the different characters in the Wyatt Six. Right before that is a scare from Alexa Bliss's character. And then through that, you go into each individual character of the Wyatt Six. So you'll have Ramblin' Rabbit, and it's kind of like a down the rabbit hole, White Rabbit, Alice in Wonderland type thing. Then you got Huskus. In the Huskus section, it smells like pig excrement, for lack of a better term. And he's in the middle of the room, and you're kind of walking around him in his cage. And then there's a guy that's like strung up and almost like skinned, and it's LA Knight. You know, he has all over him, and they had some like animatronics, like some puppets of pigs. And then you'll go through Abby. You go through, there's a section where it's kind of like outside, and it's like barbed wire and brick. You know, that one was for Mercy the Buzzard. And there's actually a Miz Easter egg. It's the Miz kind of like strung up there. And then eventually you go through the bayou, and you see the swamp house, or the Wyatt compound kind of. And that part is a tribute to Bray. And then eventually you get to like this room where it's like a bunch of doors, and all the way at the very end of it is the Fiend kind of like welcoming you in. And then as you leave, sometimes if you get lucky, there was an Uncle Howdy towards the end, kind of doing like the chat, you know, like the end of their promos. But yeah, the Wyatt Six house was unbelievable. What I would give to go back and do it again for the first time. So I wish I could do that. Okay, so this next scare zone is the Origins of Horror. This one was like they used to call it like the table of contents scare zone, just because it has like all the different scares that are represented, or haunted houses rather, or IPs that are represented throughout the event this year. So they have like a photo op for the WWE. They have a photo op for Five Nights at Freddy's. They have a photo op for Terrifier. All the IPs they had photo ops for. They also actually introduced to Universal Orlando the crows from Hollywood. So that was really cool to see as well. This kind of has like the vines taking over it from El Artista, which is a house that we'll get into a little bit later. And it was really, really cool. Just the lighting of it was really nice. It was awesome seeing a scare zone back in the little Minions area. We haven't had that for a couple of years. So this one was actually probably one of my favorite table of content scare zones. Next to, I think there was one where it was like all arcade cabinets. I love that one. That one was really, really cool. But this one was really neat. Now, another house that we ended up doing around this time was Grave of Flesh. And that one was okay. Like I said, you're going to see me kind of briefly talk about it later. That one was okay. Basically, the main storyline of that one is it's the experience of like when you die. So like you're at your funeral and you're seeing yourself like transition through the afterlife. That part was actually really cool. Kind of reminded me of like Beetlejuice or Poltergeist. Then like these monsters are eating like your actual like corpse. At a certain point, as our friend Dan liked to say, you walk through a hall of hot dogs and they're just kind of slapping you in the face. So that one was okay. Wasn't anything outstanding, but it was okay. Okay, so now we're going to go into Toxic 20's Mutations. This one, basically, quick little backstory. There is this mobster, and he's robbing the Blarney Bank. If I remember correctly, that was the name of it. That's a tie-in directly to the Triplets of Terror from last year, from Halloween Horror Nights 2024. And then they crash into a BuzzCon truck that's carrying like a new form of rodent killer, which is kind of like what they were teasing or announcing when they did the Bugs Eaten Alive house from 2-3 years ago. I remember 2-3 years ago, one of the two. I think it was like 3 years ago. So that is tied into a house from before. This one I actually really liked in terms of the music and the kind of like time setting. I love the 20s, 40s, 60s, like just the music and like the aesthetic of it. But there's some really cool centerpieces, like the crashed sign that they end up crashing through, all the different mobsters hanging around. All the different show scenes of people getting like killed. There was a news rack that was in the middle of the New York section, and they kind of come at you through some boo holes there. Really, really good, really well thought out scare zone.
Side effects?
Not
I'll give it to you if I have it. Like, if I get it, I'll give it to you. God nickels, that's a whole. That's a lot. That's 5 nickels. You know, honestly, I don't know it either. So. Ooh, okay. But if I get. Yeah, run.
So after this, we ended up going through Terrifier, which, as I mentioned later on, second favorite house of the entire night. Terrifier wasn't necessarily scary. it was just a lot of fun. It was a very good time. There was a bunch of scenes from all three films, and it was just Art being a silly little guy. We got to the point where there was the bathroom. It smelled horrible, as you could imagine. That one had a lot of funny gags, like some dude that had his mouth open, and then like Art's hand comes out with some duty, and it's like offering it to you, like, you want it? That was really funny. Yeah, it's Art just being silly, and he's very, like, if you clap for him and you cheer, he kind of responds back to you. He smiles, he claps, he dances with you. It's a fun time. It's not even that scary. It's very gory, but it's a fun time. When you get to the dry path or wet path, if you look up, there's two different paths, and he's at the top on like a canopy type thing, and he's looking down at you, or like a balcony, and he is like pointing at you and telling you to go to the wet path. And then if you defy him, he goes like he gets mad at you. So that was pretty funny. I ended up doing both. I will say this, I prefer the dry path, not because of obvious reasons. I just prefer the dry path because I feel like it had more scares and it had more to see. When you go through the wet path, imagine, easiest way that I can explain it is like you're walking through a sewer, and the sewer water is under you, and there's like, your metal like walkway that you got to go through, and there's just water falling on all the sides of you. So that's kind of what it was like. I didn't get soaked. It was like a little bit of a heavy rain that you kind of get stuck in while you're on your way from the car to the grocery store. That's the easiest way that I could explain it. But other than that, I love the house. It's my second favorite of the night. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's. What a technical marvel this house was. Like, it wasn't scary in the least. You were walking through scenes of the movie, and seeing that opening facade and walking through it, and they're doing their whole dance number with the whole "I hear secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep," that song was amazing. And they kind of like all just shut down at the same time, and then their eyes glow. I yelled out, "Oh my God!" Like, just seeing that in person was amazing. The animatronics from the Jim Henson Creature Shop were incredible. The rest of the house, it's just different moments and scenes from the movie. You have Chica, you got Cupcake, Foxy, kind of doing like the patented like sprint. There's a moment in there from the game. Like, it has, if I'm remembering it correctly, I only got to do it once because the wait was so long. But if I remember it correctly, it had like the security thing, and then there's the doorway, and then it was doing the flicker when you would see Bonnie before you're supposed to like close the door. They would do like the boom. That was really, really cool Easter egg. But yeah, the house was just like a go through of like the greatest moments in the movie, and I really, really liked it. I was kind of expecting to be disappointed by the lack of scares in it, but it was really, really good. So El Artista, basic kind of storyline for it is this tortured Spanish artist, and this is all off the dome. This is all me just remembering things. I went to the event weeks ago. I studied weeks ago, so this is me just going off the dome. But pretty much anything that he draws or is painting, he's like kind of like bringing to life in like a horror manifestation. And he has like this house that he lives in. I believe that's what's haunted, is the house. I could be wrong. Please, if you know more about Sergio Navarro and El Artista, please let me know down below. I'm going off the dome. But that house was just beautiful. Like, it was beautiful to walk through. I don't remember a lot of it, like, inside specifically, but it was a gorgeous house. The rooms were gorgeous. The facade was, it almost looked like a house in the Keys, like the Hemingway house, kind of. I do remember that there's like a room that has a bunch of like easels with him painting. It was beautiful. I would say like if you had like the Oscars, like this house would win the Oscars because it was that much of like a, you know, art house kind of haunted house, if you will. So I really enjoyed El Artista as well. Now, Jason Universe. So Jason Universe, it's so funny too. I have only ever seen the first Friday the 13th. I hadn't seen any other ones, and so I binged all of them in the span of like 6 days. And I like maybe 2 of them. So I heard that this house is really scary, and naturally I'm all for that. So I was like, cool, I'm good. And the wait times were pretty ridiculous. I don't know if you have ever experienced it, but the Fast and Furious houses are like really, really long wait times. And then when you do the express, like you end up waiting probably the longest time of the night when you're doing the express on the Fast and Furious houses. But Jason Universe was fantastic. The first half kind of gives you like a greatest hits moments throughout the movies, and then the last half is just like a relentless non-stop onslaught from Jason and all the different versions of him. I didn't see Jason X, which is what I was looking forward to, but everything I think from part 1 all the way through Jason Takes Manhattan was represented there. This was Ashley's favorite house of the night. She loved it. She was almost taken down to the floor by the amount of them coming at us. But it was this house was a lot of fun. Okay, so this last scare zone is Masquerade Dance of Death. So this was actually the scare zone that I was looking forward to the least, and it ended up impressing me the most. Now, granted, it wasn't my favorite, but the scare actors did such a good job here, and the set pieces were so impressive, especially the giant like chandelier in the middle. Basically, picture the masquerade scene from Phantom of the Opera if it was just like a really messed up version with like vampires. So the scare actors were really, really good, really interactive. Some of them were dressed like it was like Eyes Wide Shut, but this one was really, really good, and I liked how interactive the scare actors were. They did a bang up job. I would say probably in terms of scare actor interaction, Masquerade Dance with Death was my favorite. Now, we also went through Mel's Die-In Zombie and Club Horror. I might have some Mel's Die-In there, but it was okay. It was cool seeing the car hops and what they were doing, but it was very like few and far between and kind of like sparse. As far as Club Horror goes, that was cool. It kind of reminded me of when they had the Rob Zombie zone there with like the dancers and the music and all that. We also ended up going into Diagon Alley so Ashley and my brother could see the Death Eaters for the first time. And I guess this is a new show. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember ever seeing it, but they had like a battle with like other people using their wands. I had never seen that before. It was cool. It was a little silly, but it was cool. Especially with like the people that they do it against, like depending on who they pick, it can be very silly. But Diagon Alley and the London area is always like great vibes during Halloween Horror Nights. Okay, so now is in the point of the video where I take control back and I started vlogging again. So again, I'm so glad I got to run into my friends and meet them. I love you guys and I can't wait to see you again. But let's get back into Halloween Horror Nights 2025 from here on out. All right, I come to you with some spooky lighting over here. So we got super sidetracked because he ran into a couple of friends. But we just marathoned like a bunch of houses and tried a bunch of food too. I had the Ramblin' Rabbit deep fried carrot cake. That was really good. All of the follow food was really good, but it was like insanely salty. It was like a salt lick. The drinks were okay. The Radaway was horrible, and it sucks because I was really looking forward to it. But all the food was pretty good. But we did the Horrors of the Wyatt Six. I was very emotional, not just because of Bray Wyatt, but also just being able to actually like do a WWE house. We did Grave of Flesh, which was not that great. Not that grave. We did Terrifier, which was incredible. I think right now Terrifier is like my number 2. If I had Wyatt number 1, Terrifier number 2, and I think that's all we did. Yeah, I think that is all we did. But those are amazing. We still have a couple of houses left, but it's already 10:30, so we're gonna try and finish up everything. We did see Haunted Phonic, and that was okay. But let's try and finish up the rest of the houses. So my brother and Ashley are tapped out for the night. Like, they're done. We managed to finish everything. There's still 50 minutes left of the event, so I have some extra express passes that I didn't need to use earlier, so I'm going to try and see what I can marathon and run up a tally by the end of the night. But now I'm about to go do the Wyatt 6 for my 3rd time. Hold on, I need a minute. It's 1:53 in the morning. Park's just about to close. Woo! 33 and it ain't getting easier. My sciatic nerve hurts, my back hurts, my knees are dust, I'm bloated. Thankfully I'm hydrated. I'm thankfully hydrated, but this Horror Nights is honestly one for the ages. I mean, this is the strongest year that they've had in a very, very, very long time. And I know I don't sound it, but I'm very happy and I'm very excited, but I am like ready to go to sleep. I've been up since 5 this morning. And tomorrow's another very long day because we're gonna go see My Chemical Romance in Tampa. But Horror Nights, it's amazing. I wish Ashley was still here with me. She finished all the houses and she was like, I gotta go, I can't. And I was like, I don't blame you. But I think my final count of the night was Fallout twice, Terrifier twice, Wyatt 6 3 times, and every other house once. And if you had to ask me what my favorite house of the year was, Wyatt 6. It's a beautiful house. And I think Terrifier, close second, then Galkin, then Five Nights at Freddy's. I gotta do like a whole list thing. Jason was amazing too. Yeah, honestly, incredible year. All the scares ones were good. All the houses were good. The food, honestly, the food was probably like the one like biggest like disappointment for me. But even then, some of it was also really good. Amazing, and I cannot wait to be back next year. I wish I could come more this year, but this one's gonna be a one and done for me. But next year, I'll be back more. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me and joining us. Thank you for my friends that I ran into and finally meeting you guys. You guys are amazing. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you. Good night.